Trapmore gang, there is some new information coming out related to the Big U case, which is pretty insane. There's been rumors that there could be dozens of snitches in the case. There's a lot of people connected to this situation. And now there's rumors that Big U might have actually shot Luce Cannon. And some people are even saying that Luce Cannon is about to switch it up and tell on Big U. Now, these are unconfirmed reports, but there's been a lot of chatter going on. And of course, it's a back-to-back today because Wack 100's name is all over this, okay? He is not letting up, all right? He's got a vendetta against these guys who did him dirty. And I kind of, I see why Wack 100 would want to, throw the elbow to a lot of the people connected to this Big U case. But I'm going to break it all down to you in this video. But first, let me remind you, okay? Just a month or so ago, it was reported that Big U was facing up to 600 years. It's a symbolic number, okay, because he's rolling 60s and on 6-0. They said they're handing out rolling 60s. 600 years, man, just say life. It is crazy. He faces a statutory minimum of well over 600 years. That's a statutory minimum because there's so many charges, so many serious things. People saying it's only 598 years after time served, though, right? They're saying he forgot to check in with a judge. It's crazy. They're saying you better check in first, all right? You can keep the street life. I agree with that. This is the sad consequences of the streets, right? This says, as currently charged defendant faces a statutory maximum of well over 600 years, even discounting the defendant's criminal history due to its age, and as currently charged defendant faces a likely guideline range of life in prison based on a total offense level of 43 for count 1 alone, all right? People are saying they made it 600 years on purpose. They really twisting the knife on Big U. So let me take you back to March of 2025, all right? That's when basically the leader of the Rolling 60s Crips in LA, Big U, basically got taken into federal custody, and he's been there for nearly a year now, facing these massive RICO charges. So this is the US Justice Department's report on the indictment. Basically, longtime Rolling 60s neighborhood Crip leader was charged in a 43-count indictment that alleged murder, extortion, fraud, and tax crime. So it wasn't just a murder. It was extortion, taking money from the government that he shouldn't have been having, not declaring his taxes right. And all of that together is a recipe for them wanting to put you away for a long time, all right? I remember people always say, oh, Al Capone, they didn't get him on the murders, they got him on all the tax evasion. That's how they got him in the end. And caught up in this federal sweep was, of course, No Jumper host Brick Baby and the controversial Luce Cannon, okay? This is them all wrapped up in the indictment. Brick Baby, free Brick, Luce Cannon. You're going to have to see how it works out for Luce Cannon, I ain't going to lie. And Big U, man, it's pretty difficult to see everybody getting like a really positive way out of this. I don't know the exact charges that Luce Cannon and Brick are facing. I know Brick's currently, he's dealing with more of a gun charge. As far as I'm aware, they're not wrapped up in the whole big extortion murder scandal that Big U is wrapped up in. They called it Operation Drawdown. The authorities do be coming with the tongue-in-cheek names for their operations because Big U's nickname was, of course, Draws. Because he wears the big drawers, he wears the big underpants when it comes to the set, all right? And that's no disrespect. That is the how he be describing it. So local news outlets at the time would provide a full breakdown of the arrests, and this would really just shake the kind of West Coast rap podcast street sphere. That No Jumper universe. It would shake it to its core.
I need y'all. I don't even know what to say.
But the feds had plenty to say on Wednesday, announcing a wide-ranging RICO-style investigation, including multiple arrests of members of the Rolling 60s neighborhood Crips, of which Henley was described as a leader, alleging a long list of federal crimes, including drug trafficking, conspiracy, fraud, and worse.
The facts alleged in the complaint paint a very different picture. It is one of a murderer, a thief, a liar, and a cheat.
They claim Henley defrauded celebrities who donated cash to his purported anti-gang program called Developing Options, also applied for grants and PPP loans, and used the money for his own benefit.
Mr. Henley duped the County of Los Angeles by running a nonprofit named Developing Options, which was set up to pull youth out of the gang life and promote anti-gang solutions. Yet Mr. Henley continued to personally orchestrate violent gang activity.
But Henley, seen here in Artist Sketches in a brief appearance in federal court this afternoon, insisted he's being targeted because of who and what he is.
I'm not going to lie, the courtroom illustrator did him dirty with that one. The courtroom did him dirty on that one. I'm not even gonna crack jokes, because if he beats this, I'm still gonna want to travel to LA. So you know what I mean, shout out to Big U. Looks very handsome there. But anyway, before the indictment dropped, okay, our guy Luce Cannon, he was a frequent guest on No Jumper, where he made some pretty shocking admissions about Big U, which weren't ever proven true, but he was talking a little too much. He was connected with the Rolling 60s. He had a falling out with Big U. He started dissing him a bunch on the show. And even in spite of that, okay, he got wrapped up in the whole indictment. But what's crazy is that he did a little bit too much talking on No Jumper. Let's be real.
He did that to, when I did that to Meek Mills and Rick Ross.
What'd you do to them?
So,
the club, when you sweated them in the club?
Yeah.
Dude, and Meek and Rick have no idea that Draw sent you at him.
Yeah. No, yeah, they sent that because I called Ross. I'm like, Ross,
boy, this shit getting crazy.
Drop off the 50.
Wack 100 knows what he's doing as well. He got Luce spilling the beans on Big U. Frontline on No Jumper. It's crazy. Wack's a demon, man.
50,000, and we're gonna let Meek live on Crib. So Ross dropped off the 50.
Look at Wack's facial reactions. Like, he thinking, bro, I'm cooking right now. Like, I got some shit. Like, he thinking, bro, how this guy even talking so much? And obviously he ended up turning. I'll just watch it again. Just watch Wack's facial expressions as this wildness comes out of his mouth.
Yeah, they sent that because I called Ross. I'm like, Ross,
boy, this shit getting crazy.
Drop off the 50,000. And we're gonna let Meek live on Crib. So Ross dropped off the 50,000.
He said, "Whoa!" You just said Meek live, like you admitting to extortion, like threats of murder to extort people. Are you crazy?
And so me and the homies, we go back. He stopped answering the phone. He stopped picking up and shit like that. And we were like, "What you doing?" Like 2 days later, he called me. He was like, "Oh, nephew, where you at?" And I'm like, "Nigga, where my money at?" And he was like, "Oh, I needed it for bills. I needed it for." I'm like, what? Like, cause that's some weird shit. And then he stopped answering the phone because I'm trying to pull up on him. Like, bro, you gotta come and see me. And then it's like, we were doing a TV show like a while back, right? And I'm on a phone, he FaceTime me. So he FaceTime me and stuff like that. He was like, Nipsey just got killed. I'm like, 6-0, I didn't hear that. So I hang up with him. I called Nipsey and I'm like, Nipsey, what's up? He was like, oh, what's up with it?
Nipsey answered.
Nipsey answered. He answered the phone. And I was like, I love you, cuz, or whatever like that.
Did you tell him the call you just got? Or you didn't even mention it?
I didn't mention it. And that's what fucked me up because my cousin is Nipsey baby mama. You get what I'm saying? So it was like...
Wack looking at Luce like, I can't believe you're saying all this stuff on a show that's being broadcast live publicly. This is insane. But Luce was talking a lot. Now, there's been speculations and suggestions that some of these stories are embellished. They're not true. The idea that he's saying Big U called him and said Nipsey Hussle died and he called Nipsey, Nipsey answered. He's inferring that Big U had something to do with that. Now, that's never been proven. There's been a lot of rumors, but it's never been proven or substantiated. Furthermore, a lot of people have denied this whole idea that he extorted Rick Ross and Meek Mill and said that they were going to kill him unless they paid him money. And then Big U didn't split it up with him. That's never been proven, and that's been denied by Meek Mill and them. And Luce Cannon is known for being, let's say, economical with the truth is the most generous way that I could say it. If you were being unkind, you would say he a liar. All right. You would say he is a cap distributor. Now, among those unverified stories were more admissions that were basically later used in the Big U indictment. So even though, all right, even though these things haven't been proven, they're basically putting these into the indictment. They're posting it publicly. They're saying in the Big U Rolling 60s indictment, it was alleged that Big U orchestrated a robbery of a dispensary, which was carried out by Luce Cannon earlier this year. Luce Cannon discussed the robbery on the podcast. This comment's killing me. It says, Wack looking like, thank God I wore my wire today. They call him Loose Lips. All right. FBI listening to this one. Loose Lips sink Crips, man. Damn. But this is another instance, and it does sound like this story might have actually been true, proven, because this one actually did end up in the indictment, and the feds are seeming to allege that this happened. I believe the dispensary owner or somebody connected to the organization that was being extorted actually did give some information to the authorities.
Basically, it's like, because he'll be like, he'll manipulate things. Like, we'll go and do something, and as soon as we do it to, show up to the house like 10 minutes later when we trying to, counting everything, right? And we be like, how the fuck they get that? Oh, well, we're gonna just give them like $40,000 back and stuff like that. But cause it's actually putting us in paperwork, right? And like doing like real police shit. I seen the nigga get like 20 guns, and when he got 20 guns, he's selling them to the homies. But I'm like, why are you writing down the serial numbers? So it's like he was doing like that, and I didn't catch on. So it was like I'm waking up now. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm his right hand man. You get what I'm saying? So when it came down to like dirt and stuff like that, I'm gonna get it. You get what I'm saying? And then like one day,
you know why he wanted to get a dude back to 40, right?
So basically,
so this appeared in the paperwork, right? It's saying that according to victim one arrived to Henley's Arlington premises, Robinson Williams and others. Okay, and that's Luce Cannon Williams. Were there. The robbers, basically, Luce and the other robbers were there, and that, as were the proceeds of the robbery. Inside, Big U told the victim that's how you rob yourself. Big U demanded $10,000 from victim one to ensure other robberies didn't occur. Big U also directed victim one to identify other businesses or dispensaries that could be similarly robbed, and assured victim one that Big U would compensate him for identifying any robberies. Henley then provided a portion of the robbery proceeds back to victim one. That's exactly what was said on the podcast. Williams later admitted to this robbery and the aftermath on a podcast on the No Jumper podcast after stating that Williams was Henley's right-hand man. Williams explained, so basically he'll manipulate things and you just heard it all, right? Well, he's just going to give 400 back. Right, Wack 100, who's a rival counterpart of Henley's for the Bloods, was also on the podcast. It's crazy they got Wack in the paperwork too. All right, so anyone that wants to say Wack's a Fed, they saying that he is Big U's counterpart for the Bloods. So they saying Wack is the big blood. Right, I ain't saying it, but that's in the paperwork. So if I was Wack, I would be keeping my nose clean. And from what I understand, Wack does actually keep his nose clean, and he's not actually the leader of the Bloods, as far as I'm aware. But the legendary channel Rap News and Street Politics would later explain that the person that Luce allegedly robbed might indeed have also been a federal informant. And as you're seeing here, victim one, according to victim one, that sounds like they got some information directly from victim one.
Now, like I said, this is the same person that Luce Cannon admitted to robbing. This is one of the main reasons why Luce Cannon is sitting down. Not only did Luce Cannon talk on the podcast, but what sealed his fate was the dude he robbed was working as an informant. So like I said, all he had to do was corroborate the story that Luce Cannon told as being factual. And of course, with him being the victim, it was extremely easy for Luce Cannon to get snatched up. Now,
so he got wrapped up in this whole thing. It was a very, very bad idea. Now, jump forward to 2026. As of today, Wack 100 just leaked a phone call with Luce Cannon's twin brother, claiming that a lawyer called him to verify a story about Big U shooting Luce Cannon. Listen to this.
Exactly. So what did the DA or the law, what they say when they called him? Nigga gonna ask me some dumb shit. Who shot who? The day there's supposed shooting. And the reason why, and then they like, nigga, they gonna let the nigga out. I'm like, how you gonna let a nigga out on some dumb shit? I just hung up the phone, bro. Like, nigga, I'm not going. Bro, but you're not going. Wait. Listen. Gigi told me you told her. The lawyer and the DA said, Luce Cannon said you can verify that Big U shot him. And that's the reason why he pulled the robbery, because he was in fear. Y'all gonna hear this shit in person online for sure. That's what Gigi told her. You told her, is it real or not? Nigga, like, we don't play with it. Like, ain't nobody trying to harbor no fugitives, bro. Ain't nobody. First of all, I don't even get down like that. Like, nigga. What we saying is that what the nigga called you, his attorney, and the DA called you with that? Because that means he's talking on Big U. That's what that means. We know what that means.
So Luce's brother is not really trying to give too much information, but what Wack is inferring is he's saying, look, if a lawyer called you to try and verify if Big U shot Luce Cannon and he did the dispensary robbery out of fear, under duress, then that means that Luce Cannon trying to cut a deal by saying He trying to cut a deal by saying some info about Big U and saying he was in fear. He didn't mean to. He wasn't part of the operation. He robbed that dispensary out of fear. Now, that's not confirmed, and even Luce's brother isn't confirming it, okay? And they're saying, look, you got to look out in LA. What I don't get is what does Big U's case have to do with Wack? Got a long-term beef with Big U, and Big U rattled the wrong cage with Wack by the sounds of things, man. So Luce's brother would then call the alleged lawyer on a recorded call to confirm where the information was coming from, and that pops up later in this video around about here.
Call the legal people. They gonna let you drill it.
Hello?
Yeah, could you hear me?
Yeah, now I do.
Okay, so the shit that was said today, do they need that person to come down? Because y'all said about
Yeah, they'll meet somewhere. They'll arrange to meet somewhere. They don't need, it doesn't need to go to their office.
And it's regarding him being shot.
Yeah. They're going to hear the story and see the scar.
Did they already see the scar?
No, they want to see the scar. You know, they want corroboration that this thing really happened. And he tells me he has a scar from it. You know, he didn't get medical. He didn't go to the hospital or anything like that. You know, dealt with it on his own, but that he has a scar from it. And I think that would be corroboration that it really happened.
And the prosecutor wants to meet up again.
It's not going to be a prosecutor.
I mean,
investigator.
Investigator.
Yeah.
Saying he was.
Just wants to know this thing is for real.
Yeah.
His story is he got shot, and they corroborated
He got shot by whom?
by Big U.
Mm-hmm. All right, let me see what I can do.
All right, sounds good. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
You can't be real on that one. That was it, man. Bang. You better stay away. Hey, listen, I'm going to tell you, nigga, listen to me, bro. You need to stay away. I know that's your brother, but you need to stay away from dude, bro. Stay away from that nigga, bro. That's loud.
So that nigga trying to get out, huh?
Yo.
So Wack is saying, look, you need to stay away from him even though he's your brother. That's 600 Christopher Lovejoy on the call, another disgruntled Roland 60 Crip who really has it out for Big U. And they're basically saying that call with the lawyer is confirmation of saying he's trying to get out. He's trying to work with the lawyer to basically find a way to tell this story, get out, separate himself from Big U. That's alleged, all right? Now, we're not hearing it from the horse's mouth, but that is what's alleged. Now, interestingly, 600 Christopher Lovejoy, fellow disgruntled Crip, who was also on the call, alleged that the voice on the recording was definitely Luce Cannon's lawyer.
See, you know he ain't being that crazy.
You know how we know that's his attorney?
Yes,
attorney?
Yeah,
That's the same nigga Joe got on the phone.
That's the same voice. Yeah.
Yo, that's crazy. Hey, bro, you better stay away from that nigga, bro. That
So Wack's saying he got to stay away. All right, his own brother got to stay away. He dragging him into some stuff that he don't want to be no part of. Now, Wack, at the end of this call, he would make a final allegation. He would basically say that Luce Cannon once asked him for a video of a murder under false pretenses, only for Wack to find out later that Luce was actually using it to try and seek amnesty and fix the situation that he had going on.
Those of y'all that don't remember, Sharice, this before the bitch skedaddle, right? Sharice called me and tell me, hey, Luce Cannon ran into Big U in medical, and he said Big U telling him he gonna put a murder on him. It's a murder like the dude named Money Mike. He said, you know where the video at? I said, well, the video ain't exclusive. It's out, but you gotta know where to find it. Y'all need it? He said, yeah, he needed to turn into the attorney to prove he ain't had nothing to do with it. Cool, I go get the video, send it in. A week later, I said, yo, what happened? Oh, they still trying to figure it out. Exposers get antsy. They go on the federal file, find out the nigga's attorney, direct attorneys, all this information. One of the exposers, which y'all finna hear, called the attorney. Now, the video he sent in ain't got no audio. His play is, hey, I sent you the video with no audio through his wife. I got the video with the audio. I can bring you the video with the audio. It exposes everything. But I need to understand what I'm getting myself into. The motherfucking attorney say, no, we gonna make it look like Tremaine turned it in so he can get the credit for it to get some amnesty off his case.
Wow, crazy work trying to lie and get up out that situation.
So according to Wack, there's numerous attempts that Luce Cannon has made to try and get some amnesty for his case, to try and get himself out of this jam, to try and present information that might help him fix the situation. That's according to Wack. Now, what's really interesting is that we recently heard not too long ago that Sharice Mills, Luce Cannon's wife, or I guess ex-wife or ex-girlfriend, I don't know the exact situation. I don't know if we can believe everything related to this. But allegedly, okay, saying who and who, they broke up. And she claimed that Luce was trying to extort her too. So Luce Cannon ain't really got too many allies left.
I am leaving Luce Cannon. Let's get that clear, since y'all really want to know. And it's not because he's in jail. It's not because he may be facing some time. It's because he continues to lie. And I cannot tolerate it anymore. And not just lie to y'all, lie to me, okay? You can lie to anybody else, but when I give you ample enough time to actually keep it a buck, you continue to lie. And then you want to manipulate people and go and talk bad about me to people that put your ass in there to begin with. Because, you know, he's trying to now extort me or blackmail me or whatever the hell. Y'all are so dumb because you can't blackmail somebody for something that's truthful.
When you started dragging.
Crazy. Okay, it's crazy. So look, Luce Cannon in a seriously bad situation right now. Big U in an even worse situation. You know, it sounds like Brick Baby's situation ain't as bad as everybody else's, but we're still waiting to find out, man. And, you know, just shout out to Brick Baby, man. I wished him a happy birthday a few days ago. He definitely keeping his head up and trying to get out of this situation, man. But look, this is the latest, okay? This Big U trial is going to be one of the craziest thing LA's ever seen. Okay, I might have to get over there and do some reporting at the courthouse or something when it truly pops off. They're talking about Big U's going to defend himself. That would be one of the craziest things I've ever seen. Okay, I don't think you should do that. I really don't think that would be a good idea. But look, we're going to see. All right, we're going to see with a capital C. So I'll let you guys know if anything else happens with this. It's definitely a rough day for Luce Cannon. Wack 100 saying all type of stuff. All right, and when we can verify that, if more information comes out about this, if Luce Cannon touches road and pops up outside the jailhouse, then we'll know for sure maybe something went on. But who knows? He might be trying to get out and he might just have a run of his career like 6ix9ine. He might just wear it. He might tell and just wear the jacket. That's what people are doing nowadays, okay? Goalposts are being moved on a daily basis. Okay, I'm not the arbiter of who snitched. I'd probably snitch, all right? If you're around me, if you're a criminal, you spend time with me, don't do no crimes, okay? Because I don't want to be part of your crimes. I don't want to be in cahoots with you on nothing, all right? Don't bring nothing around me that you shouldn't have around me. Don't bring me to no place where I shouldn't be, all right? Ain't no telling, because I'm just a civilian. But anyway, I play by different rules by everyone else. Let me know what you thought of this video. Let me know down in the comments below. Yeah, man. We're going to see. We're going to see how it all works out, man. I'll see you in the next video.